Netta, Nimrod, welcome to the Cyanite case study today. I'm very excited to do this. Before we start, maybe you can give the viewers a little introduction to MySphera.
We created MySphera 2.5 years ago with the goal of connecting musicians, especially emerging musicians, with the ever-evolving world of content creators. We've seen that the world of content and music discovery was constantly evolving and constantly changing, and we felt that PR in general wasn't really catching up and wasn't unlocking all the opportunities for musicians. So we decided to start creating those routes for musicians. We wanted to make it frictionless and as easy as possible, because many other services that aim to connect musicians to content creators take somewhat of a marketplace approach, and we feel it's quite time consuming both on the tastemaker and musician side. And I think we will dive into it a little bit later when we discuss about your tagging tool, because what was really surprising for us was the fact that musicians sometimes tag their music the wrong way. And when we took the matchmaking to our side, we saw a lot more success.
So what were like the specific challenges that have led you to consider an AI supplier such as Cyanite for MySphera?
A lot of the times, when one says that, for example, when they like hip hop, so it doesn't necessarily mean that they would like all the hip hop songs that will be suggested to them. So one of the challenges for us to consider, a tagging tool, as Nimrod mentioned, was to find something that will provide us a breakdown of, the layers of a track, but will also give us room, to leave it for the personal taste of the tastemaker, and for the fact that their taste is something that is evolving and transforming over time.
What was the integration process like, and how hard or how easy was it to add an AI layer to MySphera?
I think it's always challenging adding AI to any pipeline in general, especially when it comes to both human behavior and musical taste. So this is something that Netta touched briefly beforehand. Like conceptually, it's really hard to find the right balance between letting people's taste evolve and change over time and creating the best matches possible for them. You don't want to pigeonhole them to specific genres or specific styles. You want to give them the freedom to choose the content they vibe with the most, and don't want to limit them. On the other side, the more technical side, of course, there are a lot of testing and changing of the training data, finding the right data transformations, the right algorithm. It's the technicalities of the world of technology. It's always a lot of experimentation and optimization.
Did you also check out other services? And if yes, like why did you go with Cyanite?
Since our algorithm is generating data from multiple data points, so we have also checked other services that are doing the tagging prior to meeting you guys. But we do feel very fortunate to have met you, because I think that in our specific use case, what we were looking for was not only having a variety of tagging, but also having this multiple layers. The fact that we can get them and the level of accuracy as what we're getting from you. So it's something that was very encouraging for us.
Here, and are you there talking about the vertical layer, so to say, so that we can, that we have a multi-label mood classifying, a multi-label genre classifying, or also the horizontal layer where you can see how the moods and genres and so on develop throughout the song?
It's a great question. And what we've experienced so far, it's actually the combination of them, because having just the horizontal layer is not quite satisfying and not exactly gives us the amount of processing that we need to do, because we're not only looking at one song per time. When it comes to finding the matches for the tastemakers, we are learning them over time. We're learning them in relations to other songs and the way that they react to them. So this is important for us to get as much holistic view of a track.
What were the challenges? What has worked well? What didn't work so well?
Start by saying that the first moment we saw the output that you produced, our minds were blown. because we really love the consistency and the level of data we received. And I think that one thing that was really interesting for us was the fact that you took like a floating point approach towards genres and moods, because we felt that if you put like a textual tag on a specific track, you lose a lot of data. And the way that you display a track through those numeric values, it really made sense in our pipeline and really made the whole data processing and data transformation phase a lot easier. On the other hand, it was hard to go to GraphQL. You know, our team was used to REST APIs, and now we are GraphQL's master. So I don't know if it was a problem or we should thank you for that.
Moving a little bit from the technical integration to the actual, like how the product or how the AI is visible in MySphera. Are your users, are the musicians and the tastemakers actually noticing any kind of AI element? Or is it rather running in the background?
From our end, we have been always, since day one, transparent about the fact that, you know, our main goal and our main motivation is to reduce the friction, both for the musicians and for the tastemakers. For that reason, we are mentioning, you know, prior to them using the service, that we are using algorithms in order to produce for them better matches between the music proposed and the person who might resonate, and expose it to their followers.
How's the AI recommendation and the additional element of Cyanite impacted your business?
So one of the things that we noticed when we're talking about how it impacted our business is the fact that throughout time, and touch wood, as our user base grew both on the musician side and also on the tastemaker side, was the fact that when we saw them coming back, they are happy from the fact that, for instance, a musician has managed to get to a specific tastemaker's playlist or get featured on their story, and this is someone who he really resonates with the way that he showcases his music and with the audience that is related to them, but they wouldn't necessarily find them if they were you know, looking for them on their own, and vice versa. And this is something that the AI has contributed to it a lot.
How long did it take when you actually noticed first results?
It does take time to implement an algorithm and to start seeing the results, especially when it's an ongoing thing. That can say that so far internally, we are seeing the improvements. And also, since we're about to implement another improvement in the very near future, we are expecting to see also the improvement on the result side, let's say, you know, on the user behaviors. But so far we are seeing them internally.
Are there actually any business results that are possible to share?
On the sides, you see a lot of noise removal used by the granularity of your data. I wouldn't provide a specific metric because, as you said, it would be somewhat problematic for me to say it's like a 0.01% improvement. But we do see more successful successes and less like mismatches. I know it sounds very ambiguous, but I think, like, in the sense of it, it really helped us provide better value through our platform.
When you think of people who want to work with AI for the music platform, what are maybe some tips you can share with them?
There are probably plenty. Music is tricky when it comes to working with AI. I've been working in the past also with other products that had also artificial intelligence involved, and so has Nimrod. And there's something about music which you can split it up into different ingredients and elements, but in the end of the day, you know, when you taste the soup, it's an emotional reaction and something that is very, very personal. In order to find a way to make it as optimal and as useful as possible, it's very important to know how the data is structured, how the processes are being done beforehand. I mean, in terms of the learning of the specific solution that you're about to apply, and to really understand the components of the data and how they are broken down into the elements that you're getting back, in order to know or to understand how to apply them the best for your solutions.
Was there any backlash when people found out that you work with AI? or is it actually greeted with positive enthusiasm by your users?
For us, AI was really the wrapping above the magic box that is our matchmaking process. We really value that we use algorithmic approach and we use different data points and different AI approaches towards matchmaking, and we think we highlight it for both of our user types. At the end of it, it's all about reducing friction and creating more value for our clients and for our users. If it's a way for us to provide a better result for them, they love it. And I think you should embrace AI in your business if it's something that provides value for your users. And I think it's right for every technology in general. You just need to keep your ear close to your clients and to your users and see how you can communicate it in a right way that is not frightening. Because although we use AI for our matchmaking, there are still people in our company that listen to the users. So it's not one way or the other. Still being human while using AI in your product.
When it comes to music, and I think this is into content overall. Content is something that is not, it's not science. So also when there are some experts, in different platforms or different locations that are, for example, listening to music, and that of course that they are classifying it or deciding about one thing or another. We should remember that there is also their human perspective on it. So, and like Nimrod mentioned earlier, that sometimes we see a lot that musicians are not really quite accurate about the way that they tag music. So also, music supervision, for instance, is also something that is, in a sense, subjective, and that is for any type of content. And I think that adding the layer of AI is actually something that it broadens up opportunities and opens up more opportunities for content to get exposed and to get to the right places that it deserves to.
How can I use MySphera? How can I find you guys?
You can find us at mysphera.co, and you can apply to become a tastemaker if you love discovering and sharing music with your audience. And if you're a musician that wants to reach out to content creators and experience our campaigns, just hit the submit your music button, and then we'll take it from there. Besides that, I think we have some exciting news that we're currently developing. Is that we're creating a new product within the MySphera umbrella that will empower musicians and content creators alike to better communicate to their audience and to empower their audience through the power of music. It's very important for us to help musicians grow in various ways, and for us, empowering was always the best route for growth. It's currently building up. We can't share too much information, but we just wanted to give like a hint or a sneak peek.